about ready in Lancaster County to move to the green phase. So let's review what we have learned from kindergarten on. Red means stop, yellow means caution, and green obviously means proceed with just a little more caution than yellow. Under no circumstances does that mean go. That is what the new code in Pennsylvania is talking about. It is red, yellow, and probably what should have been orange or some other color, but having it be green is confusing everyone because nothing that happened in yellow actually stops happening. So all of the things that are the major things, masking, social distancing, signage, pandemic safety officer, having acrylic shields, all of that stuff is still in effect in green. So it is not back to business as normal. It is really just a slight opening up of some other elements. So let's talk about what those individual elements are. One is that in yellow you had to limit the number of people in your building to 50% of your maximum occupancy. You are now to go to 75% of your maximum occupancy. And you still need to figure out a way to control that. Except now the math is harder because it's 50% is easy, right? You just half. Now you have to times things by 0.75. Child care is actually allowed to open now with as long as they follow some guidance that is out there on the state site. Congregate care restrictions are in place. Congregate care are youth homes for children, as one example. So it's a child-based care, so it's those sorts of things. Prison and hospital restrictions are still determined by their individual facilities. And now schools, because schools will probably be likely in this green phase, have to follow the Pennsylvania and the CDC guidelines. That's all out there on that website. That's a whole big rubric of things that have to be done. Social restrictions. They want us to not have large gatherings of more than 250. That's still masked. That's still social distance. That's a lot of room. 250 folks, all 6 feet apart. That takes up a lot of space. Masks are required when entering a business, and the mandates to make sure that your employees are wearing them and that your customers are wearing them still is there. Restaurants and bars can now open at 50% occupancy, which means they can actually have in-store dining at 50% occupancy. Personal care services, including hair salons, barbershops, they can do 50% occupancy and by appointment only. So eliminate all the waiting areas. You can't have people just sitting around in a tiny little space, all sitting there together. So you just walk in, have your appointment, and go. Indoor recreation, health and wellness facilities, personal care stuff is gyms and spas, also at a 50% occupancy with appointments strongly encouraged. And then all entertainment like casinos, theaters, shopping malls, also open at a 50% occupancy. And as I talked about in the yellow phase video that you can find on our YouTube channel, managing that 50%, that 75% occupancy, that's actually quite the task. You don't want to wait till the last second to be thinking of that. How are you going to manage that if you choose to? And then construction activity may return to full capacity with continued implementation of protocols. So whatever the restrictions were on construction, they're saying, hey, there's no more restrictions, but they still have to do masking, still have to provide hand washing stations, even out in the field, those sorts of things. So that's it in a nutshell. That's the difference between yellow and green. Again, green does not mean go. Green actually, it's just poorly named. There's no way around it. It's just absolutely poorly named. Green means it's a little bit more open than yellow, but under no circumstances is it back to business as normal. Thank you very much. Hey, my name is Mike. My cell phone number is 717-676-0788. If you just want to talk about this stuff, I'm happy to talk about it with you. Thanks.